welcome to History Talks, where we explore the stories behind our history in a simple and interesting way. I'm your host, Ligel, and today we have a special guest. So, who is she? Please give her a warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Lizel May Rojo.
Hello everyone! Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
We're happy to have you. Today's episode will answer the three important questions. Let's begin with our first question. Why is it important to study and understand the Philippine history?
That's a very important questions. Studying and understanding Philippine history help us learn where we came from and how our country became what it is today. It teaches us about the sacrifices of our heroes, the experiences of our ancestors, and the important events that shape our nation. History also help us understand our culture, traditions, and identity as Filipinos. Most importantly, by learning from the past, we can make better decisions in the present and help build a better future.
That's true. So, studying history is more than just memorizing names and dates?
Exactly! History is not just about remembering events, it's about understanding the lessons behind them and appreciating how they continue to influence our lives today.
Now that we know why history is important, here's another question. Where do historians get all their information?
Historians gather information from historical sources, and these are divided into two types: primary and secondary sources. A primary source is an original record created by someone who personally experienced an event. One example is Antonio Pigafetta's first voyage around the world. Pigafetta joined Magellan expedition, so he wrote about the events that he actually witnessed.
So, what about the secondary source?
A secondary source is written by someone who did not directly experience the event. Instead, it explains, analyzes, or summarizes information from primary sources. Example include history books, documentaries, and encyclopedia articles. Simply put, a primary source gives us first-hand information, while a secondary source explains that information.
That's very interesting. But here's something I've always wondered. Can historians believe everything written in the primary source?
Oh, not always. Even primary sources need to be examined carefully. That's why historians use historical criticism.
Historical criticism? What is that?
Historical criticism is a way of checking if a historical source is trustworthy. Let's use Antonio Pigafetta's first voyage around the world as an example. Pigafetta wrote that the first Catholic Mass in the Philippines was held in Limasawa in 1521. To examine this claim, historians use two methods: external criticism and internal criticism.
Can you explain external criticism first?
Of course! External criticism checks if the document is authentic. Historians ask questions like, who wrote the document? When was it written? Is it the original document? Since Pigafetta personally joined Magellan's expedition and recorded what he experienced, historians considered his journal an authentic primary source.
How about the internal criticism?
Internal criticism focuses on the content of the document. It examines the author's point of view and possible bias. Since Pigafetta was a European explorer, his observation may have been influenced by his own experiences and perspective. Because of this, historians compare his account with other historical events before accepting every detail as completely accurate.
Wow! I learned so much from our discussion today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
You're welcome. I also enjoyed being here. I hope everyone learned something new about Philippine history.
And that's the end of today's episode of History Talks. Remember, history is more than just the past. It helps us understand who we are today and guides us toward a better future. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode. Bye!